because I'm bored and nothing better to do and couldn't really do much anything all day as far as content goes. So, and because I was kind of stuck playing Vigil for an Amazon package that didn't show up until after the kid sis got home and got it herself. Such is the way of things. Oh, did manage to keep up with things more or less on YouTube and Twitter and then via this thing here, but other than that, it's like there are too many things. I gotta get back over here and get on this stupid computer. Throwing an invite at Rosetta, see if she might shows up in a few minutes here. But been one of those weird days. Just feel like it, whatever. Yeah, let's get the obligatory mention of Indy out of the way. She's feeling better. She's gotten videos up today. It's good to hear her back up and up and at it again. So, but apparently, it'll be interesting to see what the blood work comes out at. Because she had to have a blood draw, and she's terrified of needles anyway. So, yeah. I also find myself trying to pick a fight with John Cusack. Why does Fox still have a license? You don't know how licensing works in the broadcasting world, do you, John? There, because it's a way. Networks do not get licensed. That's for individual stations. They get the license, and they are, and when also Fox does not, Oh, God, who the hell knows? At this point, I'm not ruling anything out. The way the economy's going, and certain people are having vested interest in keeping it in the shitter. So I don't rule out the idea. Maybe someone's bombing these things. I don't know. Yeah, you want to blow up that oil shipment? We got to keep the price up. No, but Cusack's on a Kip thing. Why do I still have a license? Again, one, being a cable channel, they're technically not broadcasting. It's a closed circuit, presentation. Granted, it's pretty much the entire country because you pretty much have to have cable now to get anything. They don't broadcast over the air. That's broadcasting. But even so, it is not up to, the FCC does not license networks. CBS does not have a license. Fox does not have a license. They don't do that. It's the individual station, like TV stations. That's where your licensing comes in. They get licensed. And used to be, usually now it's like 2 in the morning, but I'll do like whenever they used to sign off at the end of the night, like at 1 or 2 in the morning, they'd have a little thing that their public service file is available for inspection at their station, yada yada yada. Come down, when you want, and there's a period where you can make your comments known of how well the station's doing, how loud the station's doing, and that is part of the process of getting their license renewed every year. I thought you were asleep. Okay, anyway. But I think it's all the time. How do they still have a license? They don't have a license. They don't have to have a license. It's the stations that pick it up that have to have the license, and then if the audience likes what they're doing, they get the license renewed periodically. But again, why expect a movie actor to know anything about television? Because this is a TV and radio operator, okay? Stick to screwball comedies, John. You know nothing about politics. You know nothing about about broadcasting either. So. Well, it's kind of early anyway, so how asleep could you really be? Anyway, like I said, I got the invite out at Rosetta, and I know she's up because she's posting on Twitter. Doesn't matter whether she's up for jumping in and us going off on a few rants here. But yeah. it's just been that kind of thing. As far as our domestic situation goes, we have put in for the latest attempt at some financial aid to get us caught up. Since the days of the audience coming to our rescue is kind of gone here by the fact that I only got 2 people watching here, and they're both in chat, but neither in a position to do anything. But so it's a matter of just up there we go, and here we are.
Hello.
Just that kind of night.
I have a suggestion for you. I'm not gonna say it out loud though.
Okay. Put it in chat here now. There we go. Ah, okay. Is he up and ready for this sort of thing?
I don't know, but we're trying.
All right, what the fuck? Let's see. He just started following me not long ago.
He's one of those that on occasion he'll just randomly take the links that are thrown at him. So
yeah.
And I miss hanging out with them. So
yeah.
give it a shot.
Okay, what is it? When does he do the open mic thing? Mondays?
Mondays, about 2 hours before I do my stream.
Uh-huh. It's gonna take long to find him in this thing. Okay.
I smell like a fucking pot shop. I just made about 40 ounces of high potency CBD creams.
Okay. There we go.
I mean, it helps the muscle pain, it helps the nerve pain and tics and stuff, but I smell like a freaking pot shop now. And since I've used cocoa and shea butters in the whipped skin creams I made, I also smell like a freaking brownie. So what? I guess this is 70s brownies.
Oh yeah, the hash brown, the kind of Santa Claus old lady used to make. You know, the best brownies. Okay, just
Randy, do you get high, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, why the fuck not? He's a good guy to hang out with.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten to hang out with him enough lately.
With Randy Meisner dying this past.
Wait. I mean, I do, but what's a lot of curry going to do to the smell of pot?
Just smell like a stoner Indian restaurant. Okay.
I mean, here's a disclosure for you. I have digestion issues and immunity issues. I actually treat with high potency curry-based turmeric powder in chews. So every little chew I eat, that I eat several of a day at one shot, each chew is the equivalent of a big bowl of hard curry. So I'm eating like 3 or 4 of those a shot at a time. I can handle the spice of curry.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I need my husband for me.
Oh, okay. Oh. No, with Randy Meisner dying, like yesterday, I think it was.
Which one?
Randy Meisner with the Eagles and Buffalo Springfield and Pope.
I hadn't heard that one.
Yeah, he'd been in some bad health for quite a while there. So he's like 77 years old. But it's like,
And then we all go, well, we're on our way up there.
Yeah. But it was like when the I think it was the Grammys or some award show was having because Glenn Frey just died, and they had thing with Jackson Browne, a few of them. They about Bernie Leadon back to with they did their run of Take It Easy, I think. And I was thinking, where the hell's Randy Meisner? Come on, is that feud still going with him and Don Henley? And then Rock History Music. He's got a series of interviews with Randy Meisner. Yeah, he really is not up to. He was not up to any kind of performance thing. He barely talk really. Had some kind of health issues, and it aged him quite a bit more than just 77. So he might stand on stage and wave, but he was not in any kind of shape to do any singing. But
trust me, so is CBD cream for loosening up your muscles.
Sure, try and get my voice into shape for if I can find a good karaoke track for A Certain Kind of Fool. One of the songs on Desperado.
I took purified whipped shea butter, blended it with skin moisturizers and pine oil, red thyme, eucalyptus, a few others, along with the high potency of CBD.
That should get a buzz.
My mom went like this to see how the blend felt on the skin. She touched the tip with her finger.
Yeah.
Put that on her hip, and her hip went loose and unknotted right where she touched it. And she said, "They're going, wow, that was a tiny amount to do that."
That's an industrial strength, man.
But yes, I mean, strong potency ones in the stores, and I gave her $80 to $200 for a tiny jar of them for the creams.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm not doing that at all.
Yeah.
I'm a cheap bitch. I mean, well.
Okay, I mean, an intruder. Okay.
He's helping me gather meds.
Uh-huh. No, like, Randy Meisner the other day, and then
There's the other intruder that Steffi
Sinead
wants to
O'Connor.
see. Yeah, the Sinead O'Connor one. It's
That was
some of her mental health issues. I wonder what happened if it's
Well,
this young and they don't want to talk about it.
They're saying no foul play, nothing suspicious.
No, I'm not saying foul players. I'm saying
I think it's just.
there's so many things that can affect you medically for mental health
Yeah.
because of the stress it puts you under and stuff. It makes me wonder
Yeah.
what she was going through.
Yeah, she wasn't the healthiest example or anything. But
No.
one of her sons committed suicide recently, though.
I know.
So that's kind of,
That's why I'm kind of worried about what happened and what the
Yeah.
family's going through.
There may have just been too much and just, that's it.
So, okay, so this is what I was talking about.
Yep.
The actual chews where you're eating chunks of curry and purified it into a really dense powder.
Before we go there, yes, another crazy Irish bitch. I had a soft spot for Sinead O'Connor, too. He's got a shaved head, okay?
I am so shocked you had a soft spot for a crazy woman.
Yeah, especially a crazy Irish one, yeah.
I swear sometimes you're more...
I would be dangerous if I showed up in Ireland, okay? Just
You'd
walking
be running
around.
Try to remember redheads are crazy and we collect your soul.
Oh,
So
yeah.
You don't want to mess with us.
So, yeah, Scotland would also be a problem, too.
You would be a victim so quickly. I'm just saying.
There's an old Irish folk song, the Black Velvet Band. Yeah, maybe shipping my ass off to New Zealand or to Australia. Whoa! The keen-eyed viewer will note that I have a different chair.
Well, it's got some God and guilt like the bar one evening there.
And
One could tell by how he walked that he drank more than he should. He bumbled around until he could no longer keep his feet.
Because my
Rolled off into the grass to sleep beside the street. Ring ding diddly-lie-o, ring diddly-lie-o. He stumbled off into the grass to sleep beside the street. About that time, two young and lovely girls were stopping by. One says to the other with a twinkle in her eye.
Note of caution, that song is not public domain. It was written back in the 70s. So
True, but they can't strike you purely for it. They can give you a claim, which doesn't do shit.
yeah, but that's why I forgot to monetize this stream. Hold on.
Also, I have a tendency to just start singing that song a lot. I always have.
Yeah. No, but people have been bumming Doomcock for the longest time. Yeah, sing that, and he didn't quite do it right, so I think he was probably safe on that one. But I had to start screaming. It's not public, and that's one of the things he is kind of thrives on, is doing public domain songs. So I had to scream, no, it's not public domain. It's not. It was written in the 70s, and he didn't quite believe me, but I think eventually figured, oh yeah, it is. Okay, never mind. So the one thing to say to him is he totally mucked up the tune. Lad, I don't know where you'd have been, but at least you won first prize. Ring ding dilly.
It's really interesting that how well I actually know it all but verse.
Yeah.
Just like the Irish ballad, I could sing verse by verse by verse.
Yeah. No, but he's been feasting on the when Tom Lehrer went public domain. It's like, yes. He's a huge devotee of Dr. Demento and Tom Lehrer stuff. No, I and Rochelle O'Connor they attempted as supportive fan there after she ripped up the Pope's picture on Saturday Night Live. Because I know the church has been involved in a lot of crap here. So no, that kind of like stuff out. The Jesuit have been behind every major war since medieval times up to World War II. So, yeah. I'm not sure my mom knew who Sinead O'Connor was, so I'm not sure how much of a threat that really landed. Oh, I'll tell you one. My supervisor up at KGNU, Dublin, she, still, and she had a daughter named her Sinead. Precocious little kid, and then Steph passed on no, don't become a pop singer and shave your head. May have got a kick out of that. Yeah, don't put picture of the Pope and shave your head. Yeah. Yeah. You can put that in the chat, and people will know what you're saying. Okay, this mic's not that sensitive.
Yeah, I can't hear her.
Yeah, while they're up, she also had a secondary. I forget what the actual Irish name, but close enough to Rose. Call her Rose. Okay. There's a proper Gaelic name for it, but Rose is one of the syllables. So okay, fine. But she's got a Dublin accent, thicker than anything. But
any girl that's either redheaded or Celtic.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you just put down that you're Achilles heel already?
Married with kids, yeah. But I gave her a hard time because
it doesn't even matter if it's an actual attraction or just liking him. You have drawn to redheads and Celts. And they all seem to be a little crazy. Sorry, Steph, if that helps you. Sure does me. I mean,
we thought Steph would have some Irish in her for what? No, actually, it's the other direction, up in Yorkshire.
Well, I said either Celtic or crazy or redheaded. So I mean, which one of them applies to her?
Well, she's been redheaded.
Give me the answer.
She has been redheaded on occasion, but not presently.
So she's the crazy.
Yeah, pretty much.
Love you, Steph.
Yeah, it's gonna be lucky she can't get out of bed to come clobbering me one day.
I heard that. Said with love, darling. Said with love. You crazy girl.
Yeah, Steph likes curry with her when we get fish and chips. She gets curry with her chips.
Or does she like some fish and chips with her curry? So this square is a lot of curry condensed.
Looks like a caramel.
It's chew.
Slightly orange.
Medical chew.
Uh-huh.
The point is, I just ate a lot of curry.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't seem to bother me, does it?
No, but... So there's a lot more curry that's in your chicken vindaloo stuff.
Because my stomach's throwing up, I'm going to eat an extra 2 of it tonight. So I'm going to have 5 of them.
Yeah.
Mainline them one after another and see how much it gives me a little buzz in my mouth. sandwich. I thought she'd be asking me to bring her some of the CBD cream for you guys.
Yeah. I'm debating whether CBD would do me any good trying to get my left side to wake the fuck up because it's been about.
It sure cut back how many ticks, spasms, and shakes I get.
Mm-hmm. Anything help? It's kind of something that trying to regenerate my left side of my nervous system. It's just kind of been it's like.
See, now you're just getting greedy stuff.
That's her way. But it's like,
and while she's at it, she wants me to bring bookmarks and all kinds of artwork and some photo prints, right?
Mm-hmm. And all the cats. Yeah.
No. They're my kitties.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the one thing today I had to go babysit over at Kid Sis's place while she was at work because I had some Amazon shipment coming in, the replacement shipment, because the last one took a hike while she was, like 20 minutes away, and picture from the delivery, she got there, it was gone.
Square two.
Uh-huh.
I think after I finish these, I'll have the ones that are beets and mushrooms that are hot milder, so it'll bring it back down.
Yeah. So I spent about the entire day over at her place, keeping her cat entertained. The bright spot of that is her cat finally likes me. For a while, that wasn't the case. Yeah, licking and kind of let me pet her and all that stuff. And pet her for quite a while. Usually, a couple of but yeah, she'd come up and rubbing at the leg and then. The only thing she won't do is get up in my lap, because I don't think she even does that for Mackie. So. Yeah, I think if worst case scenario comes around, it's, she has to give up the cat. She'll come over here. She'll be happy. She'll be, And we already have paperwork, so she'd be classified as an emotional support animal, so wouldn't have to pay extra rent. And yet that would be one more animal that she has foisted on us over the years. So that's where we got Jonesy. That's where we got most of the guinea pigs we had. Where we got the hamster. The only animal we didn't get from her was Tiny. I found her on the street, literally. And another guinea pig that was somebody at work. They had to get rid of. Mr. Squeakers. No, guinea pigs get sick too easy. It's like, no more of that. I'm tired of making that trip to the dumpster.
Almost done with the third.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Takabe
is this, where?
Takabe is this Mexican. No, not Mexican. It's an Indian. No, American Indian. I guess fast food joint, but it's over by the Oriental Theater. It's on 44th. I'm not sure where in relation to Tennessee. But it's in,
Any place I go, cannot use any MSG. It cannot use any artificial crap like sucralose or propylene. And they have to be able to do things without onion and pepper because my throat reacts to them.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's see if they got a website. What's the name of the place? Tokabe.
Having medical issues is fun. So I was commenting on favorite foods earlier. I was asking people.
Tokabe, an American Indian eatery. Ah, God, my nose.
Right. What are your guilty pleasure foods? Honestly, do you know what mine is? Mongolian and Thai food with chopsticks. I like the spice, I like the foods, and I love eating with chopsticks. It's soothing to me. I don't know why.
Mongolian barbecue. First, I didn't feel it in the Air Force.
It depends on the company. Some of them are really fabulous, and some of them are kind of.
Yeah, Officers Club had a thing with Golden Bribe. We had some fun with that. There we go.
You do remember I can't open links on this thing while I'm in here.
How about if I put it in private?
If the laptop can't open them, I need them in actual messages.
I will send it to you in.
There we go.
I'll send it to you on Twitter. I don't think Anthony's even up. Okay.
Well, it was worth trying.
Yeah. Well, if he shows up, I'm not planning on going there for a while. There we go.
Going to the only message that came through. I got both alarms.
Mm-hmm. No, it's a good place. We went there one time with one of Steph's online friends. Came by and treated us to dinner.
Okay, now that I ate 5 super concentrated squares of turmeric curry powder, my mouth's buzzing a bit.
Just a bit?
Just a bit.
Uh-huh.
Not enough that I won't sit here and chug soda, which just activates it.
Yeah.
I like curry. I like wasabi. I like ginger, spicy mustard. Good horseradish if it's done right, where it's nice and kicking. Proper radish can be made into really good sauces too, actually. Good radishes that are really spicy.
But fry bread something. I don't know.
Oh, it's a fusion place then.
But it's focused on American Indian stuff, so I don't know. Yeah. Again, send you the website and Twitter. So.
I'll dig through it in a few minutes. And I mean, if I could drag your asses up here and take you over to Laughing Water at Crazy Horse.
Oh boy.
that ain't fusion. That's native food.
Yeah. First, I need to get a vehicle. I need to get a vehicle that can make the trip. I'm scared of making this van just cross town. I think it's the ignition module going out, but it's early '90s Chrysler, Plymouth Rock. Who the fuck knows? It was a very bad time for that company. I should have held out for.
I still would take early '90s Chrysler over early '90s Ford. Ford after 70 years, shit. Their frames don't have shit for them. Yes, and the worst rollover vehicles of all time are still Bronco 2 and Bronco.
Yeah.
I hate.
Well, a Ford of that period, at least I understand it. I know how they built them, how things are engineered. I have no freaking clue what they were thinking at Chrysler when they built this stupid van.
They were thinking, let's confuse the old bastard.
Who the hell? 92? I wasn't that old. I wasn't even 30 at that point.
It's an insult. It's not meant to make sense. Quit overthinking.
Yeah. Note the shirt.
As you kind of saw, I'm getting to that point where some of my medicals are making me very concerned, and I'm just starting to go, whatever. Why are you clicking all the time? I don't like the fan to start clicking.
Yeah. I guess since you mentioned wasabi, I should bring up a step before Steph brings it in. One of these little behind-the-scene tales in the original series of Star Trek, when George Takei, and this is there's a little sushi place in Los Angeles, and this is like mid '60s when no one knew what the hell sushi even was. They thought you were just mispronouncing Susie, but there's a little place where he would go, and he kind of introduced Jimmy Doohan to sushi. And wow, and he was amazed with this whole thing. And they'd go, periodic. And then one point started bringing the entire rest of the cast. Of course, Shatner and Nimoy and they're busy doing other things, like actually making the show. they're virtually every episode, virtually every day. The other guys, there's entire chunks where it's like, no, Sulu's not even on board. But they, took all them, and go into this sushi place, and Jimmy Doohan is doing oh yeah, try this over here, and this is good, and he's directing traffic. George just sitting back and watching and laughing his ass off. Walter Koenig, a little bit of a skeptical eye here. We're talking the Chicago Jew.
Off the shelves.
He doesn't do this sort of. Whoops. Okay. Yeah, baby girl.
She's like, but I don't want to obey. I want to do whatever the hell I want.
Yeah. Would this make her on-camera debut?
Not quite, but still in that first few times she's ever been seen.
Okay. And they didn't get to Walter in time to warn him about the wasabi. That you got to mix it up with the soy sauce, right? No, he just straightened. It's like never trusted them ever again with anything food-wise. It's like no.
I don't mix wasabi up with other stuff. I just eat it.
Mm-hmm.
Straight up.
You though, yeah.
Of course, you just saw what I did with the curry chews.
Yeah,
Mainlined them.
Yeah, I think that size is generally intended for like an entire pot of tikka masala. To serve it,
yeah.
Enough for like 6 servings.
We actually have at my house where we got through an Asian shop a bag of true wasabi powder, not the horseradish mix stuff you get here, where they make mostly horseradish with a little wasabi to make it taste right. We got the true wasabi powder. We got a several pound bag of it, raw powder. We use that in most of my cooking. What does it tell you? Ow.
Yeah.
I did have eardrums at one point. Steffi, smack him next time he does that.
Yeah, I actually held back on that. Oh.
Ow. Ow.
Sorry about that.
I mean, you may have held back, but I've been fighting headaches for 2 weeks.
Oh, okay, all right. What? The what? You asked me this while I'm on stream.
Yeah, she did.
Want me to get her a soda while we're live? She is watching us live.
I can bullshit for a couple minutes. Go get her.
Okay, yeah, I will be back. I shall return shortly.
This is what you do when you have a spouse. You get what they want, so you get what you want. I mean,
yeah, and that's why I bring
sorry,
you
not
on for this.
snarky and tongue in cheek. I mean, just a little bit. It's me. No, I got my tea water blend, my soda, my milk, and yes, I'm chugging fluids, and yes, I'm doing all this, and la. And I've been a lot sick, so I'm trying to make myself feel better. Plus, I don't know. I'm out of my mind. And you'll all love me that way. So with the whole little band and unband that happened on Twitter, X as they're calling it. I got all these people trying to go, well, are you going to chill down? Are you going to calm down? Not say things that get you in trouble. It's like, no, fuck no. Well, if you're going to suspend me over bullshit, I might as well earn it, right? I mean, if I get suspended, I want to be able to go, I earned that shit.
Okay. And we're back here. Turn the camera back on. Hello. All right.
I was talking about my opinion of what to do with Twitter right now. I mean, they're going to flag me and suspend me over bullshit. I want to be able, if next time they suspend me, sit there and look at it when I see it pop up and say you're suspended and go, I earned that shit.
Yeah. It's like when I was, doing a thing, with Shatner, and some guy called him a no talent act and won like 2 Emmys, something like that, but First I chimed in with, I guess not everyone's seen your Mark Antony, because there was a clip for a long time of him doing on a TV thing about him doing a passage from Julius Caesar, the Friends Roman countryman thing, But then thought about it. Actually, a little better example coming back. Interview with Ralph Sarinsky, director, and Star Trek, and he had done Metamorphosis, and I was watching the dailies with Gene Coon, and it was of Shatner doing a speech to the companion about the whole, trying to convince her to let them all go. And the thing, again, the concept is ludicrous. He's talking to a cloud, but he's delivering these lines. And I'm relating this on Twitter, and had to do a ... next thing. And then it's where Coon said that's why we pay him the big bucks. I got flagged because of the word Coon. I had to fire back. The man's name was Gene L. Coon. All caps. Let the system work at that. Just automatic. Stupid computer.
Yeah, that's when you're looking at him going, "You dumb fuck."
Yeah. I cannot follow context. Or it carrying enough because I spelled out the name Gene Coon in the previous one. Didn't say that, but the second one. It's kind of like him. His secretary, Andy, I forget what, Andrea, but Andy, the black lady, and she would, and she gave his secretary, and she'd answer the phone, "Good afternoon, Gene L. Coon." And they would, no, it was not a nice word back then, but she turned it into a joke, and everyone laughed.
Not like he chose it as his name.
Yeah. I mean, she had to do a little bit of soul searching. Do I want to work for a man named Coon? I mean, this is the mid '60s, the height of the civil rights era.
I understood the purpose of a lot of the shows that talked more about the racial issues then, when it really was the era when you're trying to break the boundaries and stuff.
Yeah. It's like that's what's going on outside your door.
And also, most of them back then didn't paint one side as perfectly innocent and the other is all guilty.
The thing is that there actually was issues going on that were needing addressing. Now it's like, we solved this 40 years ago. What the hell are you doing?
How about we work on the issues that still exist, because there are ones. And no, you'd rather play little games and try to divide us to make it impossible for us to get along and work together.
Dredging up crap we'd already solved. And it's going to be worse, because now it's fighting over this was not a problem before, okay? So guess what? The payback's going to be a lot worse.
So
that pendulum swings back. It will not be very, very.
Yeah, and I'm worried. Let's be honest. How many innocent people are caught in the middle?
Yeah. I got a few tweets out there. People, choose your positions carefully, because that pendulum comes back. It will not be picky.
Well, here I sit.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of out of my mind a little bit.
Yeah.
Who do I blame for all of it? Well,
blame Canada.
But it'd be more fun if my friend Lydian was here, because he's up in Canada.
Well, eventually one of them's going to figure out, see streamer with that April guy again.
Although I got fully to sing Blame Canada on his stream, teasing him in chat the other day. So I got the Canadian to sing Blame Canada.
Yeah, even knows they're not a real country anyway. No,
it's worth the price of admission to do that, right?
Yeah. Now I finally got digging into the thing about the whole thing with the U.S. and Canada. Okay, yeah, we kind of fucked up there. We tried to invade them. Kind of what started the War of 1812.
No, let's be fair. As Reed put it, Canadians like to give us crap, but remember, you stole this land also.
Yeah, the Canadians aren't any more innocent, than we were on that score.
Actually, statistically,
Probably
if
worse.
you look at the
Mm-hmm.
overall of how many people were there and what else happened there, they're worse.
Yeah. I remember watching a video of it. Jeremy Clarkson had just a general talk show before he resuscitated Cop Gear. Just called Clarkson, and he had a Canadian comedian on. I hadn't heard him, but and they asked him about what do you think of Americans type thing. It's like having a drunken neighbor that like they're okay, but sometimes they get a little annoying.
I'm like, considering some of our opinions of you Canadians,
It's like they're fine when you borrow a tool from once in a while, but it's like they're kind of there, kind of loud, and obnoxious.
That's funny considering how Canadians act when they come down here to be tourists. They're the biggest douchebags in the planet, I swear.
Yeah.
I really am irritated by the whole stereotype of the polite Canadian shit.
Mm-hmm.
They're loudmouth hockey fans and think they're better than everybody.
Yeah. Well, it's pretty much all one-sided because the Canadians don't have, I mean, they're not too fond of Americans, but they also recognize they're not much different than Canadians.
Yeah, that's not true. Most of the Canadians I've talked to, they think they're better than us. A lot.
Well, this was several years ago, so the survey.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's the thing I always wonder, because I have seen so many surveys where they word things in such a way it reads which answer people will give.
Yeah. But it's kind of, like the Canadians have a very dim view of Americans, but they don't have a very great view of themselves either, because they're loud and obnoxious, and they're pretty much the same as us. So.
I can tell you back to when I was a little girl, we loathed seeing Canadian tourists. They were the most arrogant, we're better than you jerks that ever came up there. The only ones that came close to the same arrogance was the people from Texas.
Yeah.
Those ones everyone expects to be that way, though. Canadians are going to say, are you sure? Well, you just got the bad ones. It's like constantly
and
for decades.
And Texas, it's more of an inside joke more than anything else. It's like, it's really more of a show. We're kind of expected to be that way. It's like, most Texans are really not serious about it. It's all a game. Yeah.
Not the ones I've dealt with. I really do think it's better in Texas than everyone else wishes they could be Texas.
Yeah.
And, the thing is, I have a lot of friends in Texas who are great people. All the Texans who come visit the hills here are the most anti-native, racist, douchebag, stereotype white Southerners you'll meet. And they come up here and they very loudly will yell racial slurs at the native people in lines.
Okay, then we got a problem. Yeah. Yes, unfortunately, those are the type that do tend to have their RVs, and they'll go out
and
yeah, just redo that one here. Okay.
It's annoying because you hear all these things. Like, okay, my last one, I had them on watching this Canadian vehicle after they'd been at the visitor center telling everyone how much better they were than everyone, how much smarter they were than everyone. And then as soon as they go a mile down the road, they had freaking passenger in their vehicle hanging out the window trying to selfie against the bison with his flash on, no less.
Yeah.
I ended up starting a fight with the bison and getting their car gored. And I'm just sitting there going, you're smarter than people, huh?
See, down in Texas, we got buffalo down there, too. We know better than to try and do that kind of crap.
You'd think that if they still come up here and try to push them on the road and honk at them and yell at them and try to take pictures of them and stuff, it's like,
yeah.
You dumb fucks.
Yeah.
You know, there's the old saying.
I think that's also why they're
tourist season. Why can't we shoot them?
Yeah. I think it's also, you know, why there are so many Texans in Colorado to get away from these assholes that are still there. Okay. There we go. Oh. Let's see. And where are we? Up there. Oh, Lordy. So let's see, what else has been going on in the world of rant and rave about?
Well, let me think.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sitting here trying to think of what's going on in the world. And all I can think of is all these fake alpha douche canoes I've been dealing with today with Lenore. The one is great because it was bad enough when he posted something trying to claim he was a drug lord with a harem and stuff. But then I actually tracked down where he actually said on another thread that he's a virgin.
Oh, God.
So I put them side by side and asked people, which one do you think is true?
God.
You got. Sorry, there was a private message going off.
Oh, okay.
You get these crazy people who say the dumbest shit.
Mm-hmm. Ow. Oh.
White people, you teach us to scalp, we show you how it's done properly.
Well, that was the French, okay?
That's still white.
Yeah, I know, yeah, but...
The first scalping was done by a Frenchman.
Remember, it was
and then the person he did it to, his family, scalped him and all his family.
It is also a long-standing British tradition to mock the French at every opportunity. So...
Well, they are frogs and surrender monkeys. Yes. It's hard to be a monkey and a frog at the same time.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's really, through the Parisians outside of Paris. Yeah, they're about as fierce fighters as you can get. But inside, they surrendered to the fucking Vikings.
But they had Billy Crystal's character saying, "Forget Paris." This, I think, one of the better lines about French. That's the one I still say would get you flagged on air. When he goes off at them screaming about if he was a certain person, they'd give him everything, basically. You'd give me your whole damn country.
Yep.
And I'm sitting there going, ooh, Kitty has claws, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, like I said, there's an old joke about, the people from Denver are called Denverites. Can we call people from Paris parasites? But local talk show host mentioned that joke, and he said said it within hearing of a French guy in this restaurant, and the French guy tried, "Oh, but we do, mon ami, we do." Call them parasites. That's what. It's not. It's mainly a Paris thing where the men are pigs and everything else. Like outside of France, they're very stand-up, very courageous, fighters, and they're.
I'm going to see if I can actually add you to my group chat now. I don't know, because people always have arguments and disagreements, so it's always fun trying to add everybody.
Yeah. It's kind of like,
between both of our phones going off, it's getting kind of chimey in here.
It's kind of, like Greeks, it's like you're either their greatest friend ever, a blood brother, or you are dead to them. That's what they.
I don't know. I just have to enjoy every cheap joke I can get that'll annoy some people.
Yeah.
Like in Torgelson's, when they had the native guy over for the Thanksgiving, and she's asking about it. She's like, "Well, we don't really celebrate Thanksgiving on the Res." You don't really celebrate Thanksgiving? Well, I mean, it was supposed to be a going away party for you, but you never left. It's like fair, right?
Mm-hmm. Remember, there was a channel.
It's like, we helped you get back on your feet. Now fuck off, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a channel. The BBC America was doing a thing on Anglophenia on the YouTube channel, and this one host, Siobhan Thompson, comedian, but it went into Thanksgiving because it was around the time of year, and pointed out that there was not a farmer in the entire bunch. It was a bunch of shopkeepers, and they think they're going to start up a colony. Like, who are you going to sell your wares to? There's nobody there but natives, and it's like they don't care about what kind of goods you're selling on Savile Row.
Even if you had British farmers, they wouldn't know what the fuck they were doing with the soil here.
Probably not, but at least they would acknowledge, we don't know what we're doing with the soil. This is totally weird. No, these guys didn't have a clue. They were not they didn't know what the hell they were doing.
Because they didn't think it out. It was an act of passion. It was, we're tired of having to hide in attics and basements to even be able to talk about our faith.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand that. But sometimes you got to think things out, too.
These were not necessarily the brightest Puritans in the world that did this. I know, we'll go to the New World, we'll do that. What are we going to do? They try and set up shop, and the natives are like, we better do something. These idiots are going to starve. They don't know what the hell they're doing. It's like, yo, white man, get over here.
Let's keep going.
Yeah,
because I do have family that was on the Mayflower.
Mm-hmm, yeah. Mine went to Virginia. We did not have anything to do with these Puritan idiots up north. Okay, we got the good warm climate down south.
Wait. The boats that showed up later and went other places on the coast were not better. Trust me, they weren't better. Yeah. In fact, a lot of the stuff that the Mayflower and Puritans get blamed for was the stuff that happened on the boats that came the next several years.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't brag about that one.
No.
Of course, then again, I'm related to Billy the Kid, so I don't know where we're bragging.
Yeah, so they watch your,
To be fair,
mm-hmm.
He was McCarthy. He was Irish.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
mm-hmm.
It's a long, twisted story to try to follow my family tree and all the different groups I'm connected to.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I still find it very fascinating that if I go to my dad's side of the family, it's chiefs and braves and medicine men and guardians and spiritual leaders and
Billy the Kid.
and a great artist. No, that's not on dad's side.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And a great, massive, influential historical artist and all this other stuff. And then I go to mom's side and you've got a duchess who disgraced her family and ran away with the Irish slave gardener. You've got some people that do tie back the Hatfield boys.
Mm-hmm.
You've got Benedict Arnold. You've got Billy the Kid.
Yeah, Benedict Arnold was a very gross miscalculation on his part. He thought for 2 seconds.
I do think he actually had mental illnesses, and I think he really thought he was trying to do something to save lives.
Yeah, but
I think
also
they
so that
manipulate him.
you,
I'm
you
not
think
saying
you're going to be
he
honored.
didn't
Yeah, you think you'll be
do a
honored.
major. He did a major crime, but
Yeah.
I think his heart actually thought he was doing the right thing, based on everything I've studied.
Mm-hmm. Like you
Still a horrible
think,
thing to have to admit to people. Yeah, that's my relation.
Yeah. It's like you thought he was going to be honored by the British for helping that. No, you're still a traitor. Okay. You betrayed your own people. Think they're going to honor that? No.
Um,
So like, yeah, off to England. No, they didn't like him there either. So
I remember my brother raising hell
mm-hmm.
because the school with his daughter, because he has to use the school system. There's no way he can homeschool with trying to work and pay for everything. Decided to try to get on her case for a T-shirt she wore. Now there was no swearing in this. There was no calls to violence.
Yeah.
It was a shirt that just used the old saying about being able to trust in the government. Just talked to an Indian and had references to people in the tribe who were betrayed by the government with pictures of people that are in our family line on it. And he said, wait, you're telling her she can't wear a shirt about her family.
Yeah.
And what was done to them. He said, no. I'm not going to go along with that.
No.
It's like, well, that was an interesting fight.
Yeah. It's like, do you really want to, have a constitutional, fight over this and probably lose?
It's like, yeah, that one's an interesting situation because, there was a little bit of political in it, and I get that they try to keep the kids out of political shirts. There's always been an exception clause when it comes to wearing things that have to do with your own family, as long as they don't violate the main rules.
Yeah. Well, one of the shops in my cafe press shop is an old playing thing. Supporting to keep let's see. Defend your right to keep into let's see. Just defend your right to support and arm bears. And the first big of a Kodiak with with a Tommy gun, or a Winchester.
I don't know what I'm doing right now.
Yeah. Let me see if I can pull that up.
So got all my meds down, so there's that at least, right? I got almost no sleep last night. Not good. Oh, I got almost all my meds down. Missed one. And then he has to do my normal meds, not my supplements.
Okay.
So.
None of the happy stuff.
This is the most part of my normal meds.
Hello. Yeah. Definitely got to get you some John Schneider stuff here. Get some of that yeehaw juice. Sea Bodie. Sign in here. Might as well take this opportunity to do a little shameless plug of my shop.
Oh, and by the way, before you do that, Steffi, one of my favorite shirts, just as simply a picture of a deer squatting, and just underneath it, "Dear Vegans, my food shits on your food."
All right.
I mean, it's not a very subtle shirt.
No,
I heard her laughing. It's not subtle.
No.
It is one that's sold here, really sells out every rally. Yeah. I wonder why.
I think that, along with vegetarians and old Indian word for bad hunter.
Yeah, but the one that about shits on your food, when the bikers get here for searches, it flies off the shelves. That's a biker shirt, isn't it?
Yeah. Where are we? I'm not on the
Whoa,
screen again.
what the heck just happened here?
Whoop.
I have no idea what that was.
Sounded like a flute.
I hate. Have you ever had your phone just turn on the sound on you for some reason?
Mm,
I have as a glitch. It usually does it when it's been running for days and I've been doing way too much stuff with it.
mm-hmm.
It turns on the sound and then it tries to read sounds that aren't there.
Yeah.
And it's always done it.
Okay, let's see if I can find it here. I think I just need to go to my shops. In this case, I need to look like I'm going to buy from one of my shops. Yes, continue. It's in the little subdirectory of politically incorrect. There we are.
I don't know how long I can actually stay up tonight.
Yeah. There's a good example.
I don't know why my husband's still in the other room.
It bounced me back out. What the hell? Give me that back.
Oh boy. I gotta figure out what my husband's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, baby girl.
Keeps bouncing me out. What the hell? Put this thing aside for a minute, figure out what's going on here. It's not letting me access my shop. You little son of a bitch, give me that back. Huh. Well, I don't know what the hell's going on here, but I can do this from here, I guess. Well, let's see what I'm doing here. You. But you can get a look here. As you can see, a proud bear standing there with his lever action. Looks like maybe a Henry. Defend your right to keep and arm bears. Yeah. Why it's not letting me click on any of these shirts, I don't know. They even got underwear and mugs and shot glasses and tiles. And a sign for your front yard. And it won't let me do it. So there is a link to the shop in the description. So let me go ahead and put that there for future reference. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, it's more of a soft taco thing. Okay. Again, that is assuming that it allows the chat to be replayed, but if it's there, there it is. And again, if it isn't, then there's a link in the description. If you care to partake of one of my shirts, revitalize that part of the income stream. Once upon a time, my cafe press shop was bringing in $200 a month. We wouldn't be in the situation if we were still doing that. But then Cafe Press decided to get greedy and change everything of how it was paying folks. And it just screwed everything up and it never has recovered. So let's see, let's put that up there. Put that there. Oh, Lordy. Yeah, the reason I'm talking to myself here is that, something's going on over on Rosetta's side of the shop. Let's see. Continue my little money-making game. One of the few that actually does pay some, not much, but after about a week, I can get up to about a couple of bucks. So better than kicking the head. So. Okay, I guess skeptical thing. Yeah, the restaurant is run by some Osage guys. I forget if there's been any mention of what the state of affairs is between Lakota and Osage. But, I'm hoping they're okay for government purposes and be able to go in and or not. Okay. So while we're waiting for Rosetta to get back here, we got all of 2 people in here, one of which is my wife. Trying to fill some time and somehow justify this tonight's stream. Yeah, I'm filling out, yeah. Yeah, all right. Okay. I don't know if you can hear Hannity in the background because things running in the front room. Oh, okay, yeah. Made it on Guy Fieri's thing. All right. But yeah, I mean, it is a good place. I do recommend it. They have good stuff. Like, I don't think I've been there twice. Maybe I was picking up for DoorDash. Uh, hmm. Philly. Let me just go with it. Before I get a reset here. All right. Ow. Hmm. Well, and we are still waiting for word on whether or not Prodigy is going to get picked up by somebody, but apparently it is a fairly sought after property show wise because it is getting nominated for awards. It's won a few awards, an Emmy or two, and then some surveys like Nielsen I think are doing. It is one of the most eagerly anticipated shows, as in people are wanting to know what's going on with it. So it's beating the crap out of Ahsoka, which is like the next most anticipated by about a good 10 points. So hopefully that will translate into somebody picking up and maybe even get a bit of a bidding war going on for who wants to run this show. And they're still working on finishing up season 2, which they'd already been greenlit for originally, but then Paramount decided to renege on that. But they're in post production on season 2, so they're gonna finish that up at least, and so if it's worst case scenario, at least put it out on home video. But people are wanting to know what's going on with the show. Where can we, and the result is that it is out on a few streaming services, but it's behind a paywall there. So, but it is available. All episodes are available for streaming somewhere. Amazon, Apple, if you have it. So it's a matter of if somebody willing to pick up the tab and renew it for more story. And I think they definitely deserve it because it is a worthy thing. They're doing good work. And well, right now, Rosetta's had to dealing with something or other. She wouldn't probably yelling at her husband or one of the cats or both. And I'm trying to fill some airtime here. Relating what's going on with that I know of with Prodigy, which honestly is not much. It's speculation most parts what's going on here, but there's been some hints of stuff happening in a positive light for Prodigy, and it is getting award nominations out the wazoo from various places, and anticipation of the show, with people wondering what's going on with it, is rather high. It's the highest anticipated show out there right now, a new show at least. So they've got that going for it, and anyone wants to say, "Well, people already watch this." Yes, people want to watch this. Look at this. Okay, well. So yeah, and with left to be a bit of a bidding war going on, and someone's going to say, "Okay," my personal suspicion, I think, when all's said and done, I think Cartoon Network will probably give it, because they could use a high-profile show of that nature that would get them some notoriety, and hey, we've got some quality show. It's not all Adult Swim. We've got some good shit here going here for kids. And also, they would have something that could run on Adult Swim, because it definitely appeals to the adult fans. It's not, because a lot of people, it's a kid show. No, not really. It can be watched by the kids, but it's still very much a Star Trek show in that respect. It would easily, the adult fans can watch it, get all the jokes and the references. It's a Star Trek show that it's easier to watch by the kids, but it's not a kids show. It's not dumbed down to kid level. They do some pretty heavy stuff. I mean, several of the episodes, it's clear people die in very large numbers in Prodigy. Ships get blown away during the last couple episodes. It's just wholesale slaughter. The ship, thing goes weird. Ships turn on each other. It's like, holy crap, So it is not. It doesn't soft sell anything. And as such, I think it is a show that deserves a second chance. So if you haven't signed the petition, you're not one of the several thousand that have, like me, and get your butt over to that petition and sign it up, because this show this show deserves a second chance. Yeah. In other news, let's see. Lower Decks is proceeding on thing, because and they can keep on going, because again, according the rules of SAG and all that stuff, and the Rares and the Actors Guild, animated shows are exempt from strike restrictions. So you can work on an animated show as a writer and not violate strike rules, because they'll let you do it. Probably some old rule regarding children's programming should be exempt from this nonsense, because that was exactly how we got the level of writing we got with the original animated series back in the 70s. There was a writer's strike on, and we got a lot of the writers from the original series to contribute episodes for the animated show because they needed work. They're on strike, but hey, you can do something for us.
Yeah.
And that's how you got, these guys. Okay. Once you got to the passing event, you want me to do a cartoon for you? No, no, it is Star Trek. It's the same show you did a few years ago, but it's the only difference. It's animated. We no longer have Matt Jeffrey saying we can't do that. It's too expensive. No, it's animated. It doesn't cost any more to draw it. That and anything else. So.
Mhm.
So in a way, it was it was just as it's the Star Trek we could have gotten in some respects if they had an unlimited budget. Because it's like there's no way they could have done Beyond the Farthest Star on the original series budget. Okay. Or at least have it look any good.
Yeah.
With that, good lord, that ship was the size of Manhattan. But no. Or another good one was Eye of the Beholder. Those aliens in that thing. They couldn't have done that in the original series.
That's an interesting place.
Mm-hmm.
That you're in their mind.
I'm not sure. I don't think it was on. I'm not sure what you're talking about. They kind of changed the point system on this particular game here, so I'm not sure if it's better or worse, but ow. I think we're kind of waiting to see if Anthony picks up his thing. Oh, look, they sent me a link. See if that results in anything. After all, stranger things have happened.
Ornery is doing fine. Ornery is ornery. She does need to get wet tonight for dehydration.
He's living up to his. She's living up to her name.
I never got a chance to do that. At least grunt the response so I know you're listening.
I take it that's directed at.
What?
There we go. Okay. I think I've hit the points.
This is where husbands exist to make you. Okay. Never mind, they're not going to finish that thought.
Oh, hey. Alright, let's see. Have I got it? Yes, got the points. Clear it all. Yeah, right now the game is at 33 cents, so in about a week I should have it up to $2. And I can do another payout. Buy a candy bar. Alright. Alright. Have any questions? Clearly I know the trivia and I'm trying to keep my eye on what's going on. I'm going to get me a soda. And try and make sure I don't flash the camera at all. Not that kind of stream. Okay. YouTube kind of frowns on that sort of thing. There we go. Yeah. No. We don't need to see the captain's log. No. Alrighty. Here we go. Gotta love the time delay here.
Why you couldn't get a hold of us?
She's just in the next room, and then 5 seconds later, here's what I said. Okay.
The booming I'm hearing is apparently outside here.
Ah. Got a fender thing going there, or what? Yeah.
Yeah, which would explain why my leg's throbbing where I got struck.
Ah.
Which explains why I'm feeling pissy as hell and bitchy.
Aha. Feel it in your bones, ranger coming here. Yep, that's legit, people. People can feel that, especially if they've been hit by the shit. Oh. Oh dear. All right. That'll be an interesting one to look at later.
Oh, yeah.
An architect reviews Star Trek's new Enterprise. And I'm looking at the Disco Prize. Like I said, my own little personal headcanon, I've relegated that one to a smaller size, much older, called the Yorktown class. I gotta figure out how to do the numbering on that there, but because the Bonhomme Richard will be in the thousands, so I figured I don't know. I think I'll put it in the 500s.
I could show you what's making the noise over here.
Uh-huh.
But I'm not going to show it up here because it would actually show the count.
Ah, okay.
So give me a moment.
Well, Steph, in your case, it might have to do with that titanium rod in your leg. I don't know.
Just look in your messages.
Okay. Go over here.
The town that the town that it shows along the main highway in that picture is where I am right now.
Aha.
See what's coming straight at us?
Yeah, it's moving east.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That explains the booming and my pain and pissiness, doesn't it?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Especially since, while we're both in mountain areas, we get a lot more hail up here than you guys do down there.
Well, I don't know. We're supposed to be the hail capital of the world there, but I think the thing is the hail we get is not necessarily all that bad. We just get a lot.
No, you guys get a lot of little hail. We get the same kind of numbers of hail, but we have a tendency to get the things that are everywhere from golf ball to softball.
You get the baseball, yeah. We most of us is like pea size. You get.
I mean, yeah, but it's literally we're around the same count of hail, but I don't consider that the same.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Little scattershot hail that stings a little if it hits your skin is not the same as what we get here.
Yeah, so I said technically we're hail capital, but realistically, you could walk out in most of our hail and just be.
Realistically, I still find that a debatable one even then, because from every survey I've seen them do, it's about the same count.
It's like most of the hail we get is not worth mentioning. So
yeah, whereas most of the hail we get up here is
town,
vicious
at least. Yeah,
shit.
yeah. Mm-hmm. No, when I was I forget where the hell was I overseas at the time? I think I was over in England, but I had a point of having some military gear, including a helmet, in the back of my car. which stayed back here. And my dad found it rather useful if you got caught in a hailstorm, and I had this helmet in the back. That's one of the things buried in storage I ain't get to, all that gear I've got.
I don't think I handle the noise of thunder very well anymore.
Yeah. Well, PTSD is often very justified.
And thunder freaking you out after you've been struck by lightning
Yeah,
is
that's definitely justified, yeah. Just like after being in a firefight numb, it's like, yeah, firecrackers are going to set you off. It's perfectly understandable, okay? It's like,
Why do you think when we had the 4th of July here at the beginning of the month, I actually took several of my old video clips of fireworks displays and broke the sound out and posted them for pet-friendly and veteran-friendly stuff.
Yeah.
So that people could actually watch fireworks who can't listen to the booms.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought that was a nice gesture.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I think Little Bighorn was around that same time. What was the date on that?
You gotta realize, I used to always want my parents. It didn't matter where we were, anywhere from down in Nebraska all the way up through into the northern hills.
Okay.
Wherever we were living, wherever we were staying. When the 4th of July came around, my parents were supposed to take me to Custer.
Yeah.
Because they do a big fireworks display there. And they do a big fireworks display at Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
But you're up on the peak.
Yeah.
And they rush it, and they're done in like 15 minutes. And the reason I love the ones in Custer growing up and through most of my adult life was literally because you're in the bowl in the top of the mountains. So it's high altitude, loud.
Yeah.
You're in a bowl surrounded by dense mountains with high gemstone rate. They do it on the hill, and it echoes into the bowl.
Yeah.
So when they do their display, each one is like shaking the ground.
Yeah.
And I loved that most of my life. Do you think I could handle that now?
Not without some chemical assistance, I think, yeah. Okay,
Speaking of chemical assistance.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, for the, because I know while everyone was gearing up towards the centennial in 1876, June 25th, 26th are the dates given for the Little Bighorn battle. So it's like, yeah, we're still counting the dead as we're setting, big old fire. How long after that was Wounded Knee?
Oh.
It was 1890. Okay, that was quite a while later.
Now.
And that was late December. So,
I've got camera for a sec there.
Yeah.
This is going to get fun. I'm hearing booms that are shaking the room. And my legs are throbbing intensely. And I'm sitting there going, I just made a whole bunch of really dense CBD cream. I don't want to lay on the bed, just strip down and have my husband rub that on my back and legs. Just lay on my stomach and let him rub it all over me. I think that potent stuff would feel good right now.
Just slather it on and get all goopy.
Hon, just feel me up. I mean...
Don't worry, the camera's off and we can't see anything.
He's not in here, but I will say it when he's here.
All right. Yeah, I wouldn't call it the Battle of Wounded Knee. It wasn't much of a battle. It was a massacre.
Because how bad the muscles are flaring. I can't go to the bathroom to do all my night routines. So he's bringing me things in stages to do them.
All right.
Which helps, but it doesn't take out the busy in my mood. Based on the meds I just took, I think he either intentionally or unintentionally got more CBD than normal.
Mm.
The flavor was a little different.
Uh-huh.
You get very accustomed to the taste of your meds when you take them every day.
Well, yeah.
When you take them and one of the meds feels more potent, you go,
Hmm.
Right?
They handed out 20 medals of honor for Wounded Knee. Yeah, I would put in for, like, let's revoke a few of these things here. Okay, this is nothing.
Yeah, I know about that. I don't want to go there.
Yeah.
They literally basically tried to say it was the natives' fault.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I don't think you want to look at these pictures. They got a lot of the aftermath. Naturally, the one of spotted elk laying there, and but they flip the whole picture. Yeah. So we will leave that alone there. No, we got our own little thing on here. Sand Creek, heard that one? Yeah. Similar thing, less snow. So yeah.
This is going to be a long night. I have a feeling.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, I do want to get off the subject of Indian massacres. So yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was not. In fact, they're
probably not the most helpful topic for me considering how I'm feeling.
Yeah. Let's say there's a monument at the state capitol, and they've put another plaque in front of it. We ignore this. We're sorry about that. So this shouldn't have been memorialized, but it's too big to move. So.
Actually, if you're going to try to say that memorials and monuments and buildings of the past are mistakes, leaving them and having a monument say that this was a historical tragedy and stuff like that is actually the way to do it, because that's actually trying to make historical accuracy without erasing the past.
Yeah, and actually I think it's a multi-purpose. It also, I think, is also honoring troops in the Civil War and other things. So I think it's kind of various things, and Sand Creek was one of them. So.
Ow. Ow. This is gonna suck. I moved my foot slightly and my legs started throbbing.
Yeah. And I still keep coming back to one scene in I Will Fight No More Forever, where James Whitmore. He's like, I hope there's a day when we will, the Indians and the white men can sit around and Sam Elliott. Like, no, sir, I don't think so. I think in 100 years we'll still hate the Indian for what they're, and they won't be any closer. So.
In a lot of ways, we're not that close.
Yeah.
And I have a very cynical view of life.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Especially right now.
I've got. I just dig up that.
Did you ever see the special I was recommending to everybody about the native history involved in rock and roll and music?
It rings a bell. That I think you mentioned it.
Rumble.
Yeah.
If you have it, next time we're hanging out, I'll play it for you backstage. You can hang out for a bit.
Okay.
It's really actually historical, and it's very interesting.
Yeah. I still like the one documentary I found, Real Engine, though. It goes on the whole thing of natives and Indians in movies. Going back to the silent era, and and going up through like Dances with the Wolves, another thing of that. A lot of films about life on the res, and then they always got the res car. It's always one car. It's like it only goes in reverse, and then you drive that around.
as opposed to the idiot who actually started arguing with me about construction the other day, and literally as soon as he started arguing with me, he said, "But you native, right?" Because he was trying to prove something about how Indians don't know anything about construction. And I was like, "You dumb fucking racist!" Because he literally assumed if you're Indian, you must live on the rest.
No.
And then he tried to claim he was from Alaska and he didn't know any natives. I'm like, bullshit. Over 20% of the state is native up there. Bull fucking shit.
Oh my
god. That's as bad as Tommy Lahren claiming Rapid City was a white city. Fuck that bitch too. I'll be right back.
I mean, I would think just watching Northern Exposure, you know how many native characters there were, and that they're trying to represent what Alaska's like. Okay. Oh my god. Oh. That is a show I missed, Northern Exposure. Although, I understand it did kind of jump the shark a bit towards the end when, in the last season, Fleischman went native. You know, they brought in trying to replace it with a couple of new, yuppies from down in down the lower 48. And they did one episode where I forget who was that one kid, but he went to go find what happened. And he's just doing kind of a Doctor Without Borders thing up in some native village. All right, what do we got here? This is a rather odd poll here. If you had to fire a member of Led Zeppelin, which one would it be? Robert Plant, Jimmy Page, John Paul Jones, or John Bonham? Had to. I think the only expendable one that thing was John Paul Jones, but even then, just barely. Bonham is what who you idiot to fire John Bonham? You don't fire Bonzo. Ooh, that's ugly. Ooh, okay.
For obvious reasons, I'm not doing my medical routines on camera.
Okay. Paul Chato is, what I think, independent production. Independent productions will reap the benefits of hiring banned wrong-think actors who still command more charisma than 99% of the boring young things Hollywood has built their woke failures on.
It sounds like a skit from Gallagher's old Two True things he used to do.
Yeah.
Do you remember those?
Not really, but it's Chato. But and then Gary came back. Somebody needs to put you back in charge. Thanks. I think I could pull in a couple of projects together, but then I have to retire. Enjoying my life now.
I'm going to see if I can find the clip real quick
online. The zoo enclosure. The giraffes going through the little hallway out there, and one of them stops and looks right in the camera and like he's posing. Like, hey, sticking the tongue out, stuff, and then going on. And then J.K. Rowling dropping a little logic bomb on everyone here. If sex isn't real, then no same-sex attraction. If sex isn't real, the lived reality of women is globally erased. I know and love trans people, but erasing the content of sex removes the ability of many to meaningfully discuss their lives. It isn't hate to speak the truth. And let's see what this is about. Oh. Yuck. Yeah, I don't think so. I could have gone without seeing that myself, actually. Oh, okay. Okay, I'm gonna get
I'm
off
trying to
of
find a
Twitter.
little play for you as soon as you end the stream before we go to bed.
Getting out of Twitter. What David Gerald called a chronovore. Just eat your time. Oh, yeah. Oh, and Stephanie's about the public connection we got with the Pitcairn Islands, which is where the bounty mutineers hid out. But one of their big thing is they have the purest honey on the planet, because there's no interference from any insect life from other one bringing stuff in. It is,
I like it. I can't have it often.
Yeah. Listen, this stuff though, it's like I said, it is no joke the purest honey you could ever get from anywhere. It'll take about 6 months to finally show up because the ships don't come by that often. No, it takes a long time for a shipment to show up, but when it shows up, it's like, yeah. I'm trying to think, did we get our jars? Do we have our Pitcairn honey on hand, or is it another one of those buried somewhere in storage? Put it in chat. I can't hear it.
Well, if we could wrap up the stream, I can play a clip for you before I have to lay down and give up on function.
Yeah. Now I told Steph she needs to put in for becoming the trade emissary for the Pitcairn Islands. It's one of the last tattered remains of the British Empire. Yeah, if you can get a paid position, you're official trade representative for Pitcairn.
I really cannot have that in my eyes, hon.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're at about an hour 42. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up here because we're down to just Stephanie in the chat. So I opened this thing with the opening thing. I'm gonna close it out with the closing thing. So we will talk at you later, folks.